WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in Ireland. Better said, I'm at the J.J. Corry Chapel Hill distillery, and I have the Old Tom. Personally, I don't like labels that I have to turn in order to read, but I do like this label. J.J. Corry Chapelgate Whiskey, Irish whiskey. Louise McGowan is behind this, and this was actually a bottle for the 2019 Irish Open. 138 bottles produced, whiskey base number 136579. I remember the day this came out because my Instagram and Twitter account was like, boom, everyone was talking about this whiskey. I paid 150 euros for this bottle, which is a lot of money for a blended whiskey. What I really love about J.J. Corry is they're doing the following. There's always a little pie chart on here. So it says this time what's in the bottle. And so we have 50% is actually malted single malt whiskey bonded in 2002. 30% is then a malt bonded in 2006. And 20% is the single grain bonded in 2010. So, 50% ABV, yay. Now, this was actually made for Mr. Tom Morris in the 1890s. He was the legendary golf course designer. And the 2019 Irish Open was in Lahinch. And for this special event, J.J. Corry actually released 138 bottles. Now, I'm not really sure if that grain portion is up to my liking, but we will see in a moment. Reading the label, there's a lot of information on this label. It says the Old Tom blend is crafted to celebrate the 2019 Irish Open held in Lahinch Golf Club. This blended Irish whiskey honors one of the world's most renowned golf course designers, Old Tom Morris. In the 1890s, not 1990s, the 1890s, while designing Lahinch golf course, Old Tom declared it to be the finest natural course he had ever seen. Back then, just as Old Tom was known for pushing the boundaries and innovative course design, J.J. Corry was a well-known local whiskey bonder, creating unique blends of Irish whiskey using innovative flavor profiles. And so we brought back J.J.'s ways of doing things and are bonding and blending whiskeys. In J.J.'s home parish of Corry on the McGeown family farm, we source rare Irish whiskeys and blend it to create our own unique house style. And like all J.J. Corry expressions, it is non-chilled, filtered, and retains its natural color. A blend bursting with tropical and white stone fruits with hints of honey. Now, I forgot what that little goat is about, but I'm sure there's a good reason for that. Let's just nose it first of all. It's got that beautiful, beautiful, I call it the 7-Up moment. Yeah, we have the lime and the lemon together and the lime and the lemon peel together here for a wonderful, wonderful nose. This is a fabulous nose. This is a B. This is great. 50%, yay. The original price tag, well, okay. Let's just move away from that. Basically, Louise is a lady that has over 20 years of experience in the spirits industry. She traveled the world, brand ambassador type of person, doing all these shows and all these things. Beautiful lady, intelligent lady, great lady, and she got married. And then what am I going to do with my life? Am I going to continue traveling 80% of my year, or am I going to settle down? So she took a year off and decided afterwards, I'm going to stay here, take the family farm, turn it into something different, new, and unique. Whiskey in Ireland is booming anyways, and so we have this nice resurrection of an old craft called bonding. And she's worked a lot, and she's had a lot of fights and battled a lot of authorities to get this actually set up. Because most of the time, if you have 138 bottles, it might actually happen that it's a single cask. No problem. You pour the single cask out, you have 138 bottles, you put the label on it, everyone's happy. Now, where the different authorities are not happy with is you take a bucket full of this and a bucket full of that and a bucket full of that, and you don't disgorge the entire cask. And that's what they don't like. So they want you to actually empty a cask and then blend those 5 or 10 or 20 casks or 2,000 casks together. And J.G. Corry is such a small operation, she doesn't do that. She takes a little bit from that cask, a little bit from this cask, blends it all together, and ta-da, you get this. So 138 times 7, you have around about here 800, so yeah, about 80 liters. Is that right? My math's not perfect there. About 90 liters here total. And that's not a lot. Yeah, a normal cask is 200. So we basically have for the entire bottling half of a cask that she's actually created to these proportions. And so if you only have, let's just use the phrase 100 liters went into this, which is actually too much. So she needed basically 20 liters of this, 30 liters of that, and 50 liters of this to create the Old Tom. I like the flash of the bottle design. I like the cork. I like the labeling here. I love the nose. Let's see what happens here. 50% ABV. It's got a wonderful vanilla. It's got a wonderful tropical fruit. I'm not great with my white stone fruits. I've had some white plums before, but what other white stone fruits do we have out there? Maybe the question of the day, people help me. What are white stone fruits? So, cilantro, cheers. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. And it goes back up. It starts here, drops down, at the end it goes back up. I have a theory here. My theory is, I have a lot of theories, some conspiracy theories and some actual good theories here. My conspiracy theory is that the grain did not have enough time to actually marry with the malt. I have the feeling that they're combating each other. It's got some a little like little needles on my tongue here going ta 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 ta. On top of that, there's a rich, silky smoothness, a beautiful, beautiful moment, and the whole time there's a underlying melody scraping away at the taste buds of my tongue. There's a harmony above it, but down below there's this as if someone's almost like their fingernails on the chalkboard. So what I'm going to do is the following. Re-pour a little bit here. Add water. Take it down to about 43%. And see what happens. Remember? Yeah. Alright, so wait a second. Alright, the alcohol pops a little bit more. The vanilla pops a little bit more. The wood, the oak is a little bit more present, and the tropical, the lime, lemon goes a little bit, pulls back a little bit. I'm getting a little bit more of a pomegranate as well as more of a grapefruit moment. Blood orange grapefruit. Cilantro? Mm-hmm. Mm. Ah. It's so good at the end now. It just pops. It just explodes towards the end now with that water in there. So, 2 questions. Louise, why did you bottle it at 50%? And Louise, why didn't you bottle it at 45%? That would be actually awesome, yeah? It's amazing what water does with whiskey sometimes. You can take an and then turn it into a great whiskey. You can take an and actually just kill it by diluting it. This actually takes a little bit of water and just goes, ha ha, I'm going to be better now. And this is amazing. This is a really, really nice whiskey. This is a solid like B- whiskey here. With water, of course. Value for money, 120, 150 euros. Nah, sorry. C minus, 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 minus. But of course, this was a limited edition, 138 bottles. You're going to have a lot of money from this. But I like the idea. I don't like the volume. I think I mentioned this in my other video as well. I think it was with the banner, County 168, actually. This is a picture for the gods, right? So we have the Bonders Blend number 3, we have the banner, we have the Old Tom here. I was privileged enough to get all 3 of those. Now, I mentioned this with Louise. I was together with her, and I said, you just can't do those small bottlings of 138, 190, or 90, or 168, because there's 150 plus collectors out there, and they want these bottles. They're not being opened. And she says, but I want people to drink my whiskey. I don't want to have it too expensive. I said, I understand that problem. I said, yeah, of course you could ask 250 euros for this bottle, and then you'd only have even more of the collectors, and they wouldn't open. They would open even less. So what she needs to do, is my personal opinion, is forget these tiny, tiny, tiny little batches. 500 minimum, 2,000 is the best. Put those bottles out there, and then like the Gale, and you have it, and that's great. People can experience it, because otherwise this is going to be an ornament. People are going to put it up on their shelves, they're going to collect it, they're going to trade it, they're going to be people who give more and more money for this, and then at the end, no one's going to open it. Like me, I opened mine, all right? So these are things to be drunk, these are things to be enjoyed, and it's a fabulous, fabulous whiskey. I'm not sure if I would have put that 20% grain in there. Maybe I would have let it set in the vatting pot for another week or two. But that's just something that I personally think that could have been a little bit different there. Yes, grain adds some body. Yes, grain adds a little bit more of a vanilla and a moment. And I actually had a blending course together with JJ Corry, with Louise. She showed us, she taught us, she demonstrated this. And yet I don't think that this is the perfectly blended grain out there, but we'll see, or the blend out there. I would have gotten rid of that grain and maybe added something else, some malt or something like that, maybe. I like grain, but it just doesn't really get me this time. There's still a little bit of fighting going on in there, but maybe the secret of this would have been just to drop the ABV. All right, very, very good. My question of the day, what are white stone fruits? Maybe you can write down stone fruits and then white and red and whatever the colors we have there. I need to learn those. And thank you very much for watching. Whiskey Jason here, tasting rare and exotic 138 bottles worldwide of this whiskey. My videos normally come out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Always have a look out for those. And thank you very much for watching. All the best. Bye-bye.